I've done an awful lot of work with fire and emergency services, including police, on culture reviews and implementation, particularly in positive duty, respectful behaviour and broader diversity, equity and inclusion. My role today on the panel was to talk about what is it like beyond compliance, what does it mean? So my perspective is it's beyond policy and process, it's way, way deeper than that, it's into that inclusive culture, cultures of safety and respect. How do we go about doing that? Truly listening to the lived experience of people when you're building policy, when you're building processes, actively engaging locally and also more broadly with leadership. Getting out there and actually talking to people managers and delivering training and having those conversations so that you can reset expectations and actually create leadership opportunities and opportunities for people to speak up and share what's happening as well. Quite often policy is your sort of starting point, but it's actually inclusive culture, building cultures of respect, of safety, that is the actual fundamental foundations. When you talk about respect, it's a non-negotiable. Nobody can argue about respect, whereas everybody's got a lot to talk about gender equality or equity or what does positive duty mean and what's a PCBU and things like that. The thing that no one can argue against is respect. So it's always a good positive to actually start with that conversation. Culture isn't an overnight tick and flick. It's an ongoing process of continually drip feeding the messages, the values that you're wanting to see and the behaviours that you're actually expecting. So the nature of my role is I'd see the good and the bad and the everything in between in terms of cultures. Really good examples, the way the SA Police dealt with their review of their culture and particularly sexual harassment and discrimination, openly coming out, talking about the report, releasing the report, giving apologies for what had happened before and then resetting that line. Bad examples that I've probably seen, when someone releases a report and then they don't actually talk about it ever again or do anything about that and try to hide it under the carpet. Quite often hiding it under the carpet, it's only going to come back out later, so you might as well be open and transparent and tell everyone, here's where we are.